All right, everybody, welcome back. We're on lesson 4, I believe, of how to be your own genie. So, how's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Awesome. All right, so has everybody been doing their mind movies?
I've been doing it more.
Always putting myself in the picture.
All right, good job. Good to hear. Okay, so is anybody feeling any negative emotions when they think about their heart's desire?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. I think we've addressed that then. Perfect. All right. I'm going to go into, if you guys remember the graph that I drew by hand. So it started out, there was 1, and then it went up past 5 to 2, and then it went down below 5 to 1.5. Do you remember that? And then it slowly went closer and closer to 5.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we're in the process of doing. So you're going through that, and it should be getting closer and closer to your heart's desire. Okay, now there is a point where it's going to be pretty darn close to 5, like that's near the end of the graph. And you're probably going to get something that's going to come into your life that will be very close to what you pictured, but it won't be exactly the same thing. So we're going to talk about greed, and we're going to talk about the point of almost 5, and what are you going to decide? Are you going to choose to just stop the boat and just pick that comes into your life? Or are you going to say, nope, I want to have it exactly the way that I wanted it, and I will not accept anything less. So I'm going to just reject this that just came in, and I'm going to continue on this process until I get exactly what I want.
Always refine the process, getting it closer to perfect.
Right. And you can, there's nothing wrong with picking the thing that comes in. It's pretty close, because at the end of the day, it's pretty darn close to what you wanted. And are you going to be really greedy and try to get that exactly how you wanted it? Well, it depends. It depends what it is. But sometimes people get greedy when they look at the stock market, don't they? And they go, oh, look at how this stock is going. Oh, I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. And then, of course, it crashes and they lose it all, right? So you have to think about that, too, is life is short. So there's always more goals to obtain. So when you're done with this goal, you are going to choose another heart's desire and continue the process. You should always be working towards your next goal. So we went over the basics, and the day before yesterday, we went over the system. So I wonder if anyone can tell me what the basics are. There are 5 of them. Okay, I'll give you one basic is, who do you listen to? Can someone give me another one?
Teachability.
Exactly, teachability index. All right, and then there's the training balance scale. Can anyone give me another one? There's the 4 steps to learning. And the idea is that at the end, you are going to be unconsciously competent in what you're doing. Okay, and then the 5th one is
it all over.
Yep, master the basics. That's right. Good job. Why do we master the basics? Can anyone tell me?
Because they are the foundation.
That's right. Exactly. And Bruce Lee once said, I am not afraid of the 10,000 strikes you have practiced only once. I am deathly afraid of the one strike you have practiced 10,000 times. All right, now, what is the symbol for the system? Well, it has a triangle, right?
And things radiating out from it.
That's right. So there's like a sun from behind it and kind of radiating out. So that would be your friends or your peers. They're like-minded. And it's on a base. What does the base stand for?
Recognition.
Ah, yeah, correct. Okay. So the triangle, there's three sides to the triangle. Can anybody tell me what those are?
Audios, books, and events.
Yes, very good. Very good. Okay. So this is the symbol for the system. Can anybody explain why we engage different parts of our brain using all five of these techniques? Well, there's a few answers. People learn differently. So you're going to catch everyone if you do things that way. But also, when you engage your brain differently throughout the day, you're going to learn more because you're changing it up, right? So if you're reading a book for half an hour and then you listen to an audio an hour later for, say, a half an hour, you just learned for an hour during the day, but it didn't feel like you were. It felt like you just did it for half an hour. Okay, did anybody purchase any of the books?
I didn't buy any because I had 3, so I started on 1.
Awesome. All right. Now, has anybody read any of the books before doing this course?
Yes.
Good job. All right. Well, readers are always leaders. Okay. So for the exercise today, I want everyone to look around you in your room or your whatever environment you're in. Okay. And we're going to look for anything that is red. Okay. Anything that's red, note it in your head. So you're going to say, oh, the sticker on my book. Oh, I have a suitcase that's red. So you're going to do that in your mind. Okay. And we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Look around the room. You're looking for red. Anything red. You could say it out loud if you want to, or you could say it in your mind, but take note of it. Look for red. I have red candles here. I have a red cup. Look for red. Okay. All right. Close your eyes. Now, name something blue in your environment. Can you do it?
Yes.
Well, you did better than most people would, I think. Usually, if you're looking for red and you're looking for red and you're looking for red, and then you close your eyes, because you're looking for red, you're probably not going to notice anything blue, and your eyes are closed, so then you can't look around.
That's true. I just knew what was blue because my computer is in front of a big window that looks out at the sky.
Ah, all right. Okay, well, normally when we're focusing on something, you focus on what you're focusing on. And all of the things that are in your life can be the same way. So you can focus on what you like, you can focus on positive things, and it is a technique to use so that you won't see the bad things as much, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's one technique that you can use to help you feel good now, because that is a main principle in this, is feel good now. Okay, so there's an old saying that when mining for gold, you have to dig through a lot of dirt, but you're not looking for dirt, you're looking for gold. And someone mining for gold doesn't get upset when they encounter dirt. It's just the way things are. So when you understand that in your own life and you focus on the gold, look for the gold, then you're not going to see all of that dirt. It's not going to faze you as much, if that makes any sense. We all complain. That's human nature. But you'll find that you will complain a lot less if you just look for the gold in your life. So look around you and think to yourself, okay, what's going on that I really like in my life? What's going on that's good? And if you can, list them. List the things that you have in your life that you're grateful for. And you'll find that you feel a lot better about where you are, where your circumstances are. Okay, now when you understand these techniques and you apply them in your life, you're going to come to certain conclusions. One is that these techniques really do work, and you are learning how to have, be, and do whatever you want. The other is that you are at cause over everything in your life. That means that right now you're making things happen. Now, before you started this course, you were probably doing it without even knowing it. But imagine if a person could consciously create things in their life, circumstances, people, items, money. Imagine if you could consciously create all of that. Everything that happens in your life is your doing. Now, we're not going to get too crazy about this. Okay, for example, my cat passed away the other day. Well, I mean, people die. Animals die. So that's just part of the circle of life, right? So when things like that happen, that's not your doing, okay? We're not going to get too crazy over this. But most everything that happens to you in your life is because you had a part in it. Now, if you are at cause over everything in your life, are you ever really a victim?
No.
That's a good answer, and I would agree with you. Now, this can be a real bone of contention. And I've noticed this in my own life since taking these courses. many people bought books by Kevin Trudeau on weight loss. And right in the infomercial, and I think it's even right in the book, he says that people are fat and it's not their fault. He says that right in the infomercial because that's what people want to hear. Okay. But in reality, if you're overweight, I mean, you could be overweight for a number of reasons, and I'm not going to get into that too deeply, but ultimately, you are a cause over all of that. Doesn't matter about genetics or your thyroid or anything like that. In the end, you could do something to change it. It's unbelievable how no one wants to take responsibility in their own life. People would rather never succeed. They'd rather just be poor their whole life and struggle than just simply accept the blame for where they are right now and then change it. Isn't that crazy? Think about that for a second. What would you rather have? To be struggling just to make ends meet your whole life? Or you just one day say, okay, you know what? Everything that's happening to me, I did this to some degree, and I'm going to change it. It's unbelievable. People don't want to do that. So from now on, I want you to think of yourself as a creator. You're a co-creator with God, creating your own life. You are the master of your domain, and everyone else is the master of theirs. So if you are able to create anything you want within reason, because you are a human being and you're in a body, okay, so you have to have certain things. All of us need certain things to live, okay? All of us have certain restrictions, like we can't fly using our own arm power or anything like that, okay? But other than that, if you go within the restraints of being a human being, you can do anything you want. You can create that in your own life. And the reason is that you, who you are, is a powerful being. And you have the power to use your brain to create a signal. Now, with your brain, you create this signal. You're doing it right now. You've been doing it since the day you were born. But from now on, you are going to do this consciously. You will create these signals, and they'll go out into the universe. Now, our brains pick up the signals of others. So perhaps I need something, and I am sending a signal out with my mind movie. And it's requiring that someone completes this task for me. Maybe I'll give that person money. Maybe I'll give that person something in trade. It doesn't matter. But somewhere in the universe, there is a person who can complete that task for me. And I have something that they want. So we're going to trade. Well, that person's brain unconsciously will pick up my signal that I'm sending out to the universe. And somehow we will meet. So what you will find is when you're applying these techniques, there's going to be different synchronicities that happen. For example, you might get a flat tire. And you haven't had a flat tire in, 20 years. I want you in those circumstances to ask yourself, what's going on? If you get a flat tire or your plane is delayed, ask yourself, what's going on? Why did I create this in my life? Notice that? I want you to notice that. You create flat tires. You create delayed planes. Not because you're to blame for anything or you're at fault for anything, because that sounds really negative. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, who told you that having a flat tire is a negative event? Why does it have to be negative? Maybe you got a flat tire for a very, very good reason. What reason is that? Maybe the guy that drives past you and notices that you have a flat tire, so he stops. Maybe that guy is the guy that's going to help you complete your task that you need to get your chief aim. You understand? So the flat tire was the method that the universe chose so that you would meet this person that you needed to meet. Or perhaps because you have a delayed flight, you have to go to a hotel and spend the night. And there, in the hotel bar, you meet somebody and you get to talking with them, just having fun. And you realize that you have a lot in common. And suddenly they're your next business partner. You see what I'm getting at? Something that is normally considered negative might not be. It might be what you are using to create this meeting of minds. Or maybe you're not even meeting a person. Maybe it's just, it's teaching you something. Or you could have got into an accident up the way, and because you got a flat tire, you missed the accident. You understand? It's not necessarily negative, even though in our society we think of getting a flat tire as being a very bad thing. Does anybody have anything that's happened to them like that they can think of?
All things happen for a reason. I would probably say my whole last week's events happened for a reason, and it actually brought me to something that I'm getting ready to start working on now.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's so good to hear. I remember one of my first chief aims involved getting an island, and I wanted to get a private island or close to a private island. And we were going to run a spa, a wellness center on the island. And it would be a fun getaway. Once a year we could have children or, underprivileged folks that needed some healing come to the island for free. And the rest of the year we would have paying customers, and that would allow us to do that charity work, right? So that was one of my chief aims for a while. Well, I was looking at this one island, and I was very seriously considering making an offer. And I was, it was my chief aim. So I was constantly looking at this stuff. I was consumed by it. And my flight was delayed. So I started looking at all of my chief aim things. And I had, a lot of papers and things I was going through, and I was looking at them. And I decided to look it up on Google Earth. So I'm on my cell phone, and I'm in the airport waiting and waiting and waiting. And this flight got delayed in total 8 hours. I'm not kidding. It was horrendous. But the whole time I was just asking myself, okay, why am I creating this? Because I was flying down to San Diego, and I was actually going to see Marshall Silver. So he was doing a seminar with Jen, and I really wanted to go, and I was going to go, and I had to get there because the seminar started the next day. So having an 8-hour delay was really not good. So I kept asking myself, why is this happening? Why did I create this? Well, as I was looking, because I was bored, I was looking at Google Earth for this island, and I was trying to see, is it close to a hospital? Is it close to the airport? You know, am I going to have to get another ship? Am I going to have to get a helicopter? Like, what am I going to need for this place? I realized that they had lied on the listing. And this was right next to one of the big top resorts. And my, you know, piddly hippie joint was going to look ridiculous next to a 5-star resort. And I was so choked in a way, because I was like, they lied on this listing and I'm so mad. But at the end of the day, it was because the flight was delayed that I actually looked. I would have never known. So I would have been wasting my time on this whole thing. I probably would have had to fly there to figure it out otherwise. So that was my brain's way of making sure that I was focusing on what I actually wanted to focus on and not waste my time. Does that make sense?
That sure does.
Is it your brain's way, or is it the universe's way to communicate to your brain?
Ooh, okay. So now we're getting into the stuff that I wasn't going to address. But now, okay, so you have a brain, obviously. You have a brain and you have a body. But do you think that there is more to you than just what's in your brain?
Yes.
Some of it's depending on what's in your heart.
So I'm not going to tell you what you are or who you are, but that's a question that is the question during this whole course is, who are you and why are you here? So I really want you to answer that. Now, I can't answer that for you. I want you to figure it out on your own and let me know. But a great book, by the way, and I didn't put this on the book list, but there's a book called The Big Effing Secret, and it actually uses the word. It's not effing, it's the actual word.
Is there a way this list could include the authors and maybe an ISBN number where it applies?
Okay, I can do that for you. I will post that in the next couple days in the Fried Snobs. I'll post the authors as well, because actually that's part of the test. That is a question on the test. You have to list all 15 books and their authors. Okay, so that is the lesson for today. I did post Your Wish is Your Command in its entirety, and it's from archive.org. So I ran out of minutes on SoundCloud, and I was actually doxing myself too, so I wanted to change that. But yeah, the archive.org has the whole shebang, the whole Megillah. So you can listen to all 14 CDs at your leisure. But we are just on lesson 4, I believe. So you only have to listen to, I would say 1 every 2 days. The goal is that you want to listen to it in 2 weeks to a month. So I would try and listen, if you can, in every 2 weeks to listen to it. But yeah, I posted that in Fried Snobs.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I'm going to be working on posting level 1 stuff. Level 1 stuff's really exciting. So I hope you guys enjoy this.
Are you going to administer the level 1 test at the end?
Yes, there will be a test.
And are you authorized to administer the passing grade?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I'm authorized up to level 5 because I'm a level 6.
How much are you going to charge us for this level 1 info?
How much you got?
That's the right answer.
Oh boy. No, I'm not going to charge anything.
Okay. Well, I'll end it there.